Good day, everyone. So, another day, another topic to be discussed. So, last time we discussed about summative assessment. So, today we are going to discuss about performance assessment. So, first, let us define performance assessment. So, according to this PowerPoint presentation that Dr. Craig Refugio um, gave, performance assessments engage students in activities and tasks that require application of knowledge and skills through creating of a presentation or product. Performance is shorthand for performance-based or performance and product. It can be simple or complex. Example, keyboarding skills or creating a remote-controlled machine. So performance assessment is also known as alternative or authentic assessment, and it is a form of testing that requires students to perform a task rather than just selecting an answers from a ready-made list, which is which is what the summative test is all about. Next slide. So, alternative assessment and authentic assessment cannot be used synonymously with performance assessment. So, alternative assessment is any method that differs from conventional paper and pencil tests. So, the alternative assessments, it also referred to as performance tests or authentic assessments, and it is used to determine what students can and cannot do, in contrast to what they do or do not know. So the typical examples of alternative assessments include portfolios, project work, and other activities requiring some type of rubric. Next is authentic assessment. So, authentic assessment involves direct examination of a student's ability to use knowledge to perform a real life task. So, what constitutes authentic assessment varies, so it only depends. So, authentic assessment is the idea of using creative learning experience to test students um, skills and knowledge in realistic situations. So authentic assessment measures student success in a way that's relevant to the skills required of them once they finished your course or degree program. So next, here is figure 10 to 1 characteristics of performance assessments. So this figure has the characteristic of performance assessment. So first is students explain, justify, and defend. So if they are going to perform the task that is given to them by the teacher, then they have to explain, justify, and defend why they have come up with that performance. So it it will their justify the fact that they have learned what the teacher have taught to them. Next is students use reasoning skills. So as they justify, defend, and explain their performance, of course, teachers will try to ask them a lot of questions and try to interact with them so that they will understand more what is the performance is all about. And to be able to answer that, students must have such high reasoning skills to answer the questions of the teacher. Next is uses engaging ideas of importance and substance. So of course, the performance must have substance so that because it will reflect their um, their knowledge about the specific topic of what the teacher is trying them is what the teacher is trying to make them understand. Next is typically no single correct answer. So since this is performance-based task, then the teacher will have subjective answers. There will be no correct answer and no wrong answers. Next is requires sustained work. So of course, since this is a performance-based task, then it requires a lot of effort, it requires a lot of time, and it requires a lot of work. Next is uses clear criteria and rubrics for scoring. So the rubrics will be will be used as a guideline or the standards that the students must accomplish. Next is students perform, create, construct, produce, or do something. Since it is a performance assessments, so they are required to perform a task, to have to make an effort, and not just like the summative assessment, which they will write and answer a ready-made list of questions and choices of answers. So that is the characteristics of a performance assessment. So that was performance assessment is all about.